I don't
Okay,
even
now
know
you
what
hold on. Now
I don't
that's
even know.
I ain't gonna have y'all edit that out. I'm just not answering.
Oh,
now
okay.
you're asking a lot.
Okay.
Now
okay.
you're digging into some things.
Okay.
People going to jail.
Oh. Welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Colleen Witt, and today we have special guest Mandii B, who is a podcaster and content creator focusing on women's empowerment, sexual liberation, and body positivity. She recently launched a subscription box for women called Official Box Owner, focused on feminine hygiene, sexual health, and normalizing conversations about womanhood.
Yes.
I definitely appreciate everything that you do for women and the movement of conversating, because I still get nervous, buying tampons. I literally will go to the register that has maybe a woman or try and pile on a bunch of stuff when I'm checking out just for tampons.
It's crazy that I have this now because I'm also someone that hid my period from my mom for the first year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm now learning the conversations and how important it is, especially I went through my little hoe phase with my partners, and I thought it was just also very important to know the smells.
Yeah.
Tracking your own ovulation. I mean, there's a lot of women now, of course, I'm in my 30s, so planning on being a mother, what that looks like, what the best time of the month should be.
Yeah.
And then also just normalizing the conversations with the partners you have about what pleasures you, what doesn't pleasure you. Those are all conversations I think we should be having now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my box came about.
Really? So what I like about you is that you have the podcast, you have your box, and not only are you a personality, but you're an entrepreneur.
Oh, God. Yes.
So
and I came from corporate. So I'll be honest with you, too. As this entrepreneur thing, first off, I used to work like 70, 80 hours as a tax accountant. And I was like, I just want my own business so I don't have to work as much.
Mm-hmm. And now you work more.
I lied. No one told entrepreneurs that, no, you're just not going to sleep. I've literally gone through therapy and had to set my boundaries to let my team know, hey, 9 to 9. After 9 p.m., can you please,
That's still a 12-hour day.
It's still a 12-hour day.
I love how you admit that, too, because
Oh, yeah.
people are always full, I can't wait to work for myself because then I'll be my own boss. I'm like, there's no such thing as your own boss. Either your customers are your boss, your vendors are your boss, someone's your boss. I had a baby, and my 14-pound baby is my boss now. I was like, how did that happen?
For sure. And, and that's the thing, too. I still wake up at 7.
Yeah.
So I really have 14-hour days to be
Yeah.
real. And then unfortunately too, if you're an entrepreneur, social media is a large part of that.
Yeah.
We're on our phones all day long.
I know.
So if you really want to include social media, you probably realistically are working 24/7.
Yep, I agree. So what dish do you have us eating today?
All right. So the dish that I brought for you today is one that got me through many, many, many times. So it's just white rice, an egg over easy, and then ketchup.
Okay.
You could also do hot sauce if you want, salt and pepper for some seasoning as well. And that's the dish.
This looks like a definite broke dish. I've never had this. I'm really excited because I like seeing the different broke dishes, and I've been lucky and fortunate enough to not have had the same dish twice.
Okay, good.
So I get to find out where the root of this dish came from. So while you're cooking it, I'm just going to throw you some questions and find out, when was the last time you ate this?
Okay. First, I guess I'll start by at least putting... no, we can save and put the rice down. Thankfully, you cooked that for me already.
Yes.
So the rice is already cooked. Rice is just something you always have around.
Yeah.
You put it with every meal if you have to.
It's a good filler.
It's a good filler. And then eggs. Everyone also always has eggs.
Yeah.
So the last time I had this dish, I would say, can I go ahead and get this going? And
then if you don't feel comfortable,
okay, I'm gonna stand up. I'm probably gonna be the same height standing up, so you won't have to change any cameras here.
I'll move it. You can move.
The last time I had this dish, I would say was probably when I was still in college. I was still in college because I thought I made it big once I made it to corporate. Once I made it to corporate, I was like, ooh, I'm making $61,000. I'm so rich now.
I feel you though.
I don't have kids, so I was, but I wasn't living off of Sally Mae anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say this was probably the last time was 2018.
Okay.
Non-traditional college student. So I graduated college in 2018.
2018.
Yes.
Okay.
So I graduated. I was supposed to be a tax accountant. I'm gonna let this get a little hot before I put the butter on it.
You like numbers?
Yes, I love numbers.
Okay,
I was in school. You couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna be a CPA.
Okay.
So I did 151 credits in 4 years. And got my BS in accounting and another bachelor's in business administration with a focus on marketing.
Wow!
Because in New York, to sit for the CPA, you have to have 150 credits.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna pay for a master's.
No,
that's coming out of pocket. That's too expensive.
Yeah.
So I ended up leaving my first job at Goldman Sachs and going to Ernst & Young. And then I left that shit after 1 year to podcast.
So that's amazing. So when you were in school, were you working?
When I was in school, I did some internships. And then I bartended maybe the first 2 years. I also studied abroad. I was living off scholarships.
Oh, okay.
And can I say these niggas?
Please do.
I'm just saying.
Nobody ever says it.
Oh no, I had quite a few men on the docket.
Okay.
Helping me pay because my financial aid covered regular tuition, but in order to graduate fast, I had to take winter and summer courses.
Okay.
So I had one guy pay for those. Another guy had me as a fake employee on his business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who that was. I don't think
no.
Don't edit it out. But I was getting a check every 2 weeks from him.
Okay.
So that's how I was able to really get through school without having to work.
Are you still cool with these people?
Oh yeah, they're still friends.
That's
still
awesome.
Friends.
Do you guys ever group chat? Like, can you believe this?
Group chat?
Not group chat.
With my lovers? Group chat with my lovers? No, girl. I mean, to be fair, they all knew about each other because I'm a very honest person.
I love this.
But yeah, no. So, what was the last question? Look, now I am trying to focus here.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to get too off, but how do you go from CPA to all about women empowerment?
Well, I mean, I'm a girl's girl. Yeah. All my friends, I like girl trips. I love being around my friends. Okay. That was probably one of the reasons for my recent breakup too, is my friends come before everybody.
Really?
My friends come before...
You tell guys that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mandy.
Yeah. And
what
sucks too is my friends also come before my family, which is very different for most people.
That's different.
My family, I feel like I grew up with Osbournes.
Okay.
So it's just we needed a television show because it was so toxic.
Oh, okay.
So once I moved out at 18. I was like, my friends have always rode for me. If I ever needed anything, my friends always had me.
Okay.
So yeah, I tell them that. And hold on, I'm gonna crack this.
Go for it.
It's not gonna. Okay.
They know it's a cooking show.
Okay.
All of you listeners, she's cracking an egg.
I'm cracking an egg. And I haven't worked on an electric top in a while. I probably should have let it get more hotter. More hotter is not a word, by the way.
That's fine.
I will make up words this entire time.
Broke. It's fine.
Okay. So where are we with the journey? Oh, how did I get to podcasting? What's crazy is my co-host Weezy came to me. This was my last year of college. And I was like, girl, I'm about to be studying for the CPA. It's about to be busy. And she was like, I just went on this other podcast and I did so great. And they said I should have a podcast and it was so cool. And we were talking about dating and sex. And, I was thinking, who else would talk dating and sex and is just as big a hoe as I am? She was like, Mandy, let me see if Mandy wants to. And we had actually just rekindled a friendship. Okay. We hadn't spoken for maybe 5 years. And we literally got into the podcasting.
Were you hesitant at all?
For what? Girl, I had a Twitter. There was nothing worse that I could have said on a podcast that I didn't tweet about.
Okay.
Which, mind you, I just had to go through and delete a whole.
Wait.
Have you went back to your Twitter?
No.
Girl, do you know they look at your tweets and background checks now? Just letting you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, I think especially the personality, you're more nervous, right? Because it's cancel culture right now.
I looked at them tweets. I said, "What personality is that? That ain't me."
Oh, okay.
I was embarrassed.
Oh,
I was embarrassed.
Okay. Dang, I wish I could have seen them before.
Oh my God, no. One was. Let me see. One was really bad. One was like, I don't sell drugs or pimp hoes. What is rap music? Girl, and I love rap music. I was like, why did I tweet this? No. But yeah, so she came to me and was like, we should do a podcast. By episode 3, shout out to A King from Loudspeaker Network, reached out. And at the time, Charlemagne was a part of that as well. And a year later, they brought us on board and we just like full sail went. And we went on Brilliant Idiots. Again, shout out to Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz for that opportunity. Just that one feature.
Wait, how did you get to Charlemagne? Did I miss that?
A King. So A King introduced us to Chris Morrow, who also worked with Charlemagne, who that's where Brilliant Idiots, The Read, Friend Zone, all of the top black podcasts were a part of Loudspeaker Network.
Okay.
And so we got introduced and were able to kind of be a part of it. So we signed on and it was like, that's all she wrote.
Wow.
That's all she wrote. And like, again, probably just being in New York too, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say that there's any one way to be a successful podcaster, right?
Yeah.
So growing up or being around New York, we saw Jesus and Mero, Brilliant Idiots. They were having live shows, The Read. So we were like, the next step is a live show.
Yeah.
We have to do a live show. So we self-funded our own live show, sold out. Next thing you know, we're looking at our analytics on SoundCloud, looked at our major cities, and we're Googling theaters, event spaces, renting them out ourselves, and putting tickets on Eventbrite. And we put ourselves on an 8-city tour.
Wow.
Where we profited at every show because we sold out every show.
Wow. And were you any part of you guys doubting yourself during the journey? And then are you making 2 eggs?
I'm going to make 2 eggs.
Okay.
I'm going to make 2 eggs. I'm going to make it quick.
You're just trying not to...
Yeah, I didn't want to have to... I needed space. I needed space.
Okay.
Normally I do the little pan.
I don't want to micromanage your cooking.
Normally I do the little pans. This is a big old pan. I'm trying to make sure I don't break the yolk here. And if y'all are looking, I swear I know how to cook, but I wasn't going to come on here and say oxtail. There we go. Look.
Okay, you did it.
With a flip. Ain't break the yolk.
You did it. So were you nervous at all during any of this experience? Did you have any, seedlings of doubt? Because I know even me starting this, I always have the little devil on one shoulder that's, questioning the ability or whether it's going to be successful. Did you have any of that?
I'll be honest with you. Again, through therapy. Girl, I just got told I live in fear. So 100%. Every day I woke up, I said, there's no way I'm making this much money. It's going to end. I'm going to have to go back to work. And so a lot of what I did was just I had to stay working, which is probably why I have 30,000 jobs now.
Okay. So you do. Okay,
I live in full fear.
That's how I live. Okay. I'm glad to know that.
It's not healthy. It is not healthy. It's not something to do. And what's crazy is I live in the fear for almost where I want to disconnect from the past. I'm scared of the present and I look to the future and the future scares me. So the fact that
why does the future scare you?
The future scares me because bitch, we just had a pandemic.
Yeah,
you would have told me we were about to live through, and now we're about to live through a world war.
Yeah.
So to me, the future scares me because I don't want to call myself a micromanager, but my team has been letting me know I'm such. Okay. I hate to not feel like I'm in control of things. And so it doesn't matter what my goals are. It doesn't matter how hard I work towards them. There's a lot of variables that are out of my control. And so that's what scares me, is that all of this hard work could end, who knows, with a fucking nuclear bomb at this point. So, you know what I mean? And so that's what scares me is what am I working towards? And so now I'm just trying to live in the moment. That's what I'm working on in therapy now, is just enjoying my successes as they come and not looking for the next high.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, when I interview people on this show, one thing I've noticed is that every time someone hit a goal, the goal kept moving. So it was almost impossible for you to find your happiness in hitting that milestone.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a single parent household, right? So 6 figures,
I feel you.
Just 6 figures seemed oh my God, will I ever obtain?
Yeah.
And now it's all right.
Yeah.
Now you also don't realize when you talk 6 figures, there's a huge difference between $100,000 and $999,099.
Yeah.
So now, I'm working towards 7 figures.
Do you find yourself ever, and speaking from experience, but do you ever find yourself, because you're working so many jobs, do you keep yourself on a strict budget to survive, or do you live a little when it comes to your finances?
A what?
Do you put just
a what?
Okay. So you live a what?
A budget? I lived on a budget for so many years. Like literally, this meal reminds me of like back when I had to choose between toilet paper or food.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
I had roommates.
Yeah.
I was like literally at the fucking financial aid office. Like, nah, I need that to hit.
Yeah.
Or I was calling up somebody like, nah, I need that now. And again, back in those days, which also 2018 is not too long, but having to go to Western Union, not having Cash App, not having Zelle, the way of getting means from people like wasn't really, you know.
It was very expensive.
Like, I made 2 good eggs. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
No.
Okay. We can go ahead and turn that off.
So at what point did you stop living on a budget? Was it like you hit 6 figures and you said, screw it? Because you don't live paycheck to paycheck. Because I feel like most entrepreneurs don't do that. They know better because of cash flow, right?
I mean, again, I think one of the things that I never had the luxury of doing when I was eating meals like this was even having a savings. Mm-hmm. Was knowing that another check was coming in.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I had to budget when I got a check every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you're seeing. Yeah. You know, the taxes that are being taken out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, and that's how I was raised. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I hook you up?
Hook me up. She's adding ketchup, everybody.
Okay.
It looks really good.
And then, you know, the little yolk gonna break and it's gonna be delicious, mind you. I now have took this out and I do not hoisin sauce. And I also like sour cream, but I gotta stay away from dairy. I'm trying to stay away from dairy. Okay. But this was my go-to. I'm gonna bring my seat back over so we can sit and eat because the bitch is hungry. I ain't gonna hold you.
I am so hungry.
So
I want to break the yolk.
You break the yolk.
Oh yes.
Let it get into the rice. If you need some more salt or pepper. I'm one of those people, like,
I love everything super saucy and gooey. So
that's me. So then you might fuck with this.
I definitely will because I love seeing all that sauce. A lot of people don't. I'm surprised so many people don't like.
They don't
over easy, but I love it. I feel like
it's okay, girl. When they don't know, they just don't know.
Like if there's sausage and pancakes, I let that sausage.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. Right?
Okay, here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you, secret. If they don't like over easy eggs or runny eggs, they order their steaks well done, and you can't trust those people.
You know what?
You can't trust them.
I'm gonna tell my husband.
Don't trust him. You can't trust him. Can't trust.
Because you know what? He does both. He does both. I can't.
He likes them scrambled, huh?
He likes them. He doesn't eat them runny, and he eats his steaks well done.
Oh, not him eating beef jerky.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about it.
This is delicious.
It's good, right? You could do that. Well, I didn't cook the rice, but so shout out to whoever made the rice.
This is jasmine rice. This is the little packets. I love those.
Jasmine rice is my favorite.
Doesn't it taste great?
No, this is great.
It's all soft.
And literally too, like, my friends make fun of me, and I talk about this on the pod. Mm-hmm. I will put an over easy egg on anything. Because
I never thought of that.
So to me, as long as you put an egg on it, it's breakfast. Mm-hmm.
So this is so good.
It's good, right? Okay, right?
I'm definitely gonna eat the whole thing. I don't know if
it's filling. Mm-hmm. It's you have your protein. It is gooey. You have your protein. I don't know if gooey is a good word to explain it.
Saucy.
There we go. Saucy.
Saucy. It's very saucy. I love saucy. Just soak my stuff with gravy, anything.
And like I said, if you want hot sauce, make it a little hotter. Mm-mm. That's my thing.
You know what? Every once in a while, we come across a dish that I say, I'll make at home.
You can make this at home.
This, I will definitely make
and it's
at home.
Fast.
It took you 5 minutes.
It's fast. It's fast.
And as far as affordability, this whole meal, if you buy a bag of rice and eggs, you have at least 5 or 6 meals for under $4.
5 or 6 meals, girl. There's a dozen eggs in a container.
That's what I'm saying. If you eat two,
if you say you put 2,
6 meals.
Easily 6 meals.
If you're trying to have a Thanksgiving dinner style with eggs, you have 6.
Now eggs, I don't think have hit the inflation button yet. No. So you could still get them for like $3.99.
Yep.
Rice, you just always have, and then ketchup. So, I mean, if you do the math, this dish maybe costs you less than $1.
So anyone looking to save money, this beats the eating fast food. And it's much faster.
It does, and it's fast. Yeah, so I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, now I don't eat this anymore, but I'm eating it now.
So when it came to the official box,
Yes.
you started that business during COVID.
So the idea came in May of 2020. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I started a whole nother podcast because I was like, ooh, let me journal what this, breakdown is like. And then by April, I said, oh, we're not getting out. We're not getting out. I thought it was only going to be 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. They told everyone, just 2 weeks. Stay in your house.
I was afraid it was only going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And I think that's when the panic hit because our tour got canceled. So we missed out on 6 tour dates.
Oh, no.
For horrible decisions. And then it was just like everything went down. Like I was just like, what else is there to do? We only had ads coming in. Mm-hmm. This was before we joined Black Effect. And I was like, shit, what else can I do?
Were you guys selling ads or the network was selling ads?
We were on loudspeaker at the moment. We weren't with Black Effect yet. And so my homegirl hit me up and she was just like, girl, you have this audience. You have a fan base. Mm-hmm. You need to sell something. I was just like, what?
You had a good circle.
Yeah.
I like your circle.
I love
your circle. I can see why you
I love my friends. I love my friends.
Your circle is vicious, though. They come to
I love my friends. They're like, no, girl, why are you not selling anything? So I was like, I don't want to sell sex toys.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. And, I mean, she knew, like, kind of where my journey was. A lot of my friends, we talk about pH balances. We do this. And I was just like, let's look up subscription boxes. Mm-hmm. And we had the idea of a quarterly because it was going to be too much to do it monthly.
Yeah.
And we were getting products from Black-owned and women-owned businesses.
How were you? They were just reaching out to you guys saying, check out our products.
They were? No. I emailed everyone.
Oh, okay.
So I was DMing them. I used that blue check mark for something. I said, listen, this is what the value of promotion on my Instagram page would normally be. I also just released another podcast, Period Sis, to go with the subscription box. And this is what I'm offering. This is how many products I need in exchange for a promotion.
Oh, you're a gangster.
Yeah, so I got all of the products for free. Got my boxes from China. So we ended up figuring out the profit margins for that. And so we released by October.
Okay.
So this was a $5,000 investment total for me. Okay. For the design, the website. Again, my homegirl does graphics. My homeboy does websites. Yeah. So everyone, I paid him a little something.
Yeah, of course.
So $5,000 investment, and in year one, we sold out day one of the drop.
And then how did you promote it? Just on your Instagram?
Just on my Instagram.
Okay.
Just on my Instagram.
I'm setting up, y'all.
Just on my Instagram. And in day one, we sold out all of the boxes in 24 hours. Wow. And I saw $20,000 hit my account. And again, this is October during pandemic.
Okay.
And
so what were you thinking at that point? Like,
oh God, I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And here goes my partner. Shout out to Sid. She was like, we're not going to touch that money. Now let's make our own product. So we took all of that into white labeling. And took that money from the first box and invested in inventory. We did boric acid suppositories and apple cider vinegar gummies.
Oh, okay.
And we white labeled our own products.
What does white label mean?
Which means we went to a pharmaceutical that already had the products. So I didn't go into the kitchen and whip anything up. Okay. But it was a pharmaceutical company that already sold it. And pretty much we paid them for the product. And white label just means we placed our label on it. Okay. Awesome. And then, so we made our 1 year was October of 2021. And by then, we were at $107,000 in sales. So during the pandemic, in an e-commerce space I had not been familiar with at all, we did over 6 figures in sales in our first year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you're a personality on Horrible Decisions, you have your other podcast.
Yes.
Which is, how do I say
See the Thing Is.
See the Thing Is.
Yes.
And you have this box.
Yes.
Okay. Your personality, do you ever get people that underestimate your power because you have this huge personality, but you're a serious entrepreneur?
I mean, all the time. I think, like, that's been the issue, too, with Weezy and I coming into this space with Horrible Decisions. We'll sit down on other podcasts, and they'll be like, hey, we have the horrors in the building. And it's like,
yeah.
Like, that completely diminishes and undermines everything that we've built.
Yeah.
As far as branding, marketing. I mean, for the first year of the podcast, I edited the audio.
Yeah.
I posted things. We still make the descriptions. We're still very hands-on.
Yeah.
So I think it undermines who we are. Like, I mean, we could be boss bitches and suck dick. You know what I mean?
Well,
and they try to separate the two.
I'm a firm believer, and I say this to everybody. I don't care who's listening. And my way
hey, no edit here. Don't edit this out.
No, I'm a firm believer that every girl goes through a whole phase.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a crap. I meet girls all the time. They're like, "Oh, I haven't gone through mine. I'm so innocent." I'm like, bullshit. Okay. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean, I feel like I'm about to re-enter one. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. I think
Back
well,
single.
at least I just say at a minimum, at least once in your life, you go through a whole phase. I'm not gonna say whether it's multiple times or not, but I think the blanket thought that, oh, this girl's a whore versus this girl. It's like, no, she's a virgin today. Well, next week she may be a
But also that term. I think the reason why we even named why we named the podcast that.
I like the name, by the way.
We put whore out there. And it's because it's a word that stems from patriarchy. It's a word that men have pushed onto us to make us feel less than for enjoying the things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And so if we can reclaim that, it now doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So now you calling me that doesn't mean anything bad. You know what I mean? But I still think the negative connotation surrounding the word is why I'm glad you didn't sit here and say, yeah, we have a hoe in the house.
Oh, no, yeah.
And again, I've shared my sexual life, my womanhood, the things that I've dealt with my body, with reproduction, with my relationship so publicly that unfortunately it does get used against you as a woman in terms of maybe them not feeling like you could show up the same way a man can. And I think I've done pretty well in this space. And I've been attached to a lot of the other men in this space as well. So
what do you mean?
Like, it's not attached, not attached romantically. Not attached romantically. I actually would never date a podcaster. Okay. So if you're watching this and you have high hopes, sorry. I want no one in this industry at all. But like being a part of the Black Effect Network and Charlemagne believing in what I'm capable of doing in this creative space. And then Joe Budden approached me to be the first pod under his umbrella for his network. So again, those are two very well-respected men in this space. Yeah. And I like to say that I'm the only woman that really got that opportunity to work with both of them. Yeah. So
you could definitely say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when I met you, I've definitely heard different things.
Jesus.
No, on a good
okay.
note. But what I hear most of all is your entrepreneurship. I don't really hear. I mean, I see the personality, but I more see the brains and the perseverance and the street smarts mixed with college education. So it's interesting that you have this show, and I'm sure that there's like you're dealing in two different worlds. I'd say, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. As an entrepreneur, I know so many people want to just get right into the space. I don't feel like I would have been this savvy or prepared for a lot of the things that I've had to deal with had I not gone to college. So in terms of even responding to an email, do you know how many people don't know how to reply all? You'd be surprised. Like when there's a CC and you see multiple people on the email, like I'm dealing with people that forget to reply all.
Wow.
Something as simple as that. Yeah. Of course, budgeting businesses that I do.
Well, I don't budget really. Accounting background.
Yes,
so
I have a huge accounting background, and my focus was on taxes. So I definitely get into the nitty gritty and handle that. I mean, I do have an accountant now to help me.
I'm pretty sure you're hands on.
Oh, I'm so hands. Yeah. Oh, I look in the accounts and I'll be like, who spent $2.13? I think you swiped the wrong card. I'll call my business partners quick, or I need an explanation on what is this and where was it.
So you do have business partners.
I have business partners in everything.
What's the pros and the cons of a business?
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
I always fear business partners because I feel like it's tough to get both people to be extremely passionate at the same time.
I mean, again, therapy has helped. Here's the thing. You can't expect everyone to show up the way that you do in anything. Yeah. As a friend, as a partner, in business. A lot of people have different ways of communicating, different passions, things that they want. I mean, I think it's you have to know how to compromise, communicate. Yeah. It's definitely not easy. Not even gonna lie. We've put everything on paper.
So everything ahead of time, right?
So been in some not so great places. So if ever we're just at a standstill where we don't know what the hell to do, all right, let's get the lawyer involved.
And all your partners are women?
All of my partners are Black women.
Wow. And you know, when I think of the Black Effect, what I think is special about them, shout outs to Black Effect.
Shout out to Black Effect.
Is that it is all black women.
When you get on that quarterly call, it's nothing. Shout out to all of the women on Black Effect. Yes,
it's really cool.
It is.
Like, you know, really running stuff. And what I like about working with Black women, I think we know how to support each other in a way where we, you know, because Black women we're strong, we're resilient, and we carry that crown very well. I think in a corporate space, but I think when we have to take it off and be vulnerable and like be that shoulder to lean on, we're very good at it.
Well, and see, that's the thing that we allow each other to do. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, in the spaces where I have worked with men, and again, being on just networks and being in rooms of men that may or may not have been involved with anything that I'm doing, there's been a lot of pushback with men. Like if I come into the room and I say something, they'll immediately disregard what I'm saying as me being emotional. Yeah. Not that I'm coming with something that I'm seeking solution for, not something that I genuinely have a problem with, not something that I think is bad business. They completely just undermine what I'm saying based on, oh, you're just emotional. Yeah. And so I think that when you come in as a strong woman, to get men to listen to you become harder. Yeah. So me working with women it's been a little bit more easy. Yeah. I feel like, and it's also a safe space. Again, I love my homegirls. They all help me, and we all have these business savvy ass minds. Like my other best friend is a fucking truck owner. My other best friend owns a ice cream. You need to get them on the show. Has an ice cream shop.
What? And this is all in the East Coast.
Both of them are in Atlanta. Okay. But yeah, like again, like I'm in New York. A lot of my friends like just do so many dope stuff. Like they screenwrite. They have their own shows and podcasts as well. Like I love women that go out and get it, and a lot of them do.
Yeah, they do. When did you feel like you were arrived? Like from eating here, I'm sure there was a point where you were like, you know what? I am this shit, you know?
You know what's crazy? Again, maybe back to living in fear. Mm-hmm. I have to remind myself of the things I've done and the things I should be proud of. Mm-hmm. Going on the Breakfast Club was like, am I really on the Breakfast Club? Again, shout out to Charlemagne and the Black Effect. That, yeah. I mean, again, the conversation was around sex, but we were promoting horrible decisions. That was like, whoa. Wow.
Was it your first time meeting Charlemagne?
No. Oh, no. Worked with him before, but the Breakfast Club, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
I was like, my pussy stock going. And then, I mean, to be fair too, in January I was just on a billboard in Times Square for my other podcast. That would trump. I was like, Mama, my name is in lights.
You have pictures of it?
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's crazy though. Like I've been in a documentary on HBO, Viceland. Some of the friends and people I hang around is just like, I'm in this room and I feel like there's still so much more for me to do. So I still don't feel like I made it. I'll be honest though. Probably the only time I feel like I'm in the right direction, my apartment in New York.
It's fly. Is it fly? Is it all glass?
It's all glass. Oh. It's all glass. And here's how long I've been in New York. I'm like, I got a washer and dryer and a dishwasher, bitch. Okay. But I love that. My friends say that my view is the big rich town. So if you watch Power, this is a big rich town. Yeah. My view is all of Manhattan. Oh my! So God. We
should have done a special edition.
Oh, y'all! If ever y'all want to come to New York, I love my kitchen. I love my apartment, and I moved there from the Bronx. Wow! Yeah. At one point, I was in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath basement apartment. Yeah. Eating this meal.
Yeah. How long ago was that? To 20. That was 2018.
No. The basement apartment that was 2015. Okay. But I left the Bronx in 2020. Wow. I just left the Bronx, because they had COVID specials.
Uh-huh.
Thank you to everyone who moved out of New York. Y'all made the rent drop, and I was able to get my dream apartment.
But the rent went right back up the second.
COVID
was over.
Which is why I locked in a 2-year lease. I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I was like, oh, when the world go back, this rent gonna go right back up. But my view, so I'll sit on my couch sometimes and be like, wow. I would have never thought I would have ever even been able to live the way I'm living in New York, because New York is just so expensive. It's ridiculous. And so, of course, they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I thought I was making it in my little basement apartment with 2 roommates. Yeah.
And now you're able to live this way all off of your businesses?
That's it. Oh, I live there by myself.
But you don't have any accounting jobs or any side hustles. This is strictly your podcast and
my podcast and my box. And I'm opening my own studio in Brooklyn next month.
Look at you. You're a serial entrepreneur.
Oh, serial entrepreneur. Like, to where everyone is like, okay, all right. So, and I'm like, slow down for what? This is what I could do it.
I am really curious about when you left your accounting jobs to pursue this full time. What was that week or day or that process like to come to the decision? And I want to know like what those last days were like.
You know what's so crazy? And I haven't shared this, so this is how fed up I was. First off, so in accounting, there's a high turnover. Mm-hmm. I worked at a Big 4 firm. Mm-hmm. I was at Ernst & Young. I could go ahead and say that now. I've said it enough. So for anyone who works Big 4, it's a lot. Yeah. It is a lot. The turnover is high. And so I had seen a lot of people leave before me. And so I knew the week I was going to quit because I had paid off all my credit card debt, got $10,000 in savings, and got my new furniture. Those are the 3 things I wanted to do to feel comfortable. And I was like, I did all that and had money left over. I said, oh yeah, time for me to leave to leave my job. And so I walked into the partner's office and I was like, hey, I want to put in my 2 weeks. Yeah. And he was like, all right. And he was like, why? And I told him at that point, literally, I want to say the week before, maybe the month before, we had a sold out show at Caroline's. Okay. So I was touring every weekend. Yeah. I was like, I'm leaving to work for myself. Yeah. I have a podcast. I go on tour. I do these really dope things. And it's making me a lot of money. I've actually made my salary in 5 months. Mm-hmm. So I think it's time for me to put more energy where the money's coming. And so the week before I left, I know that they normally fucking order banana pudding from Magnolia Bakery and get everyone in the office and they all say goodbye and how they're going to miss you. I told that partner, I said, don't do that. I don't like most of the people in this office. I don't need they fake goodbyes. Yeah. I actually don't care about any of them. Uh-huh. I said, there's 3 people in this office I like. He said, what 3? Told him the 3. And he put it on the calendar to take me and the only 3 people I liked out to lunch on my last day.
Okay, I like that.
And because it was the last day, said, margaritas? We're doing shots, right? Yeah. And I got drinks, but I didn't want the fake corporate goodbye. Like, I had seen so many people leave, and I was like, yeah. And I'd still talk to the people that I invited to that lunch. Nice. But I didn't want all that fake shit. So that was my last week. Like, save the banana pudding for the office.
Since you left, have you had any, like, seedlings of doubt, or have you just been looking onward and it's been nothing but positive? Has like, any hiccups come?
Like the panorama? like the whole pandemic? Girl!
The pandemic.
I quit 6 months before they shut the world down. Oh, my God. So I was like, I said, okay, we're going to do this little podcast thing on Zoom. But so how are we making money now?
Yeah, and then you came in with the subscription box.
And that came in May. Again, I thought the pandemic was going to last.
Were you able to get any type of COVID relief or...
Okay, now hold on. Now I ain't gonna have y'all edit that out. I'm just not answering. Oh, now you're asking a lot. Okay. Now you're digging into some things. Okay. People going to jail.
No, when
people get locked up. But I mean, I did everything correctly. But I did have a little bit of help.
I did, and I'll just say when my business came to a complete halt.
Right.
So I was like, I went through all of phases of grief. Like I was depressed. I was shocked. I was mortified.
Right.
But I had applied for
I was able to get the SBA.
I got the SBA. Well, that's what I mean.
The PPP, I said, everybody getting this thing. My accountant said, the way you don't have payroll set up, PPP doesn't apply to you. Then my homegirl was like, nah, you can get it through the PayPal. I said, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna just stick to that, to the SBA. Got that little bit of change.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said though, like I just was like trying to create other ways.
And
then to be fair, see, the thing is, my other podcast I launched in October. Mm-hmm. So literally the same week I launched a new podcast and the subscription box same week.
So you were working pretty much through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Dealing with the goddamn China, getting things to the U.S. Oh my God.
That must have been crazy.
Dealing with just, and again, starting an e-commerce business where things aren't, the mail system is not being the same. Nothing is acting, the right way. And then I didn't realize how much Amazon has spoiled us all.
Yeah. I
am delivering this out of my home. The way they thought they was just going to get the box the next day, I said, give some time.
Yeah. Did you put a little disclaimer?
Oh,
like
had to.
4 to 7 days or something?
Business days. I said, let me add that business days.
Smart.
Don't include the weekend. So, and again, just did the research of all that. But no, I stay working. I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't just going to get lazy.
What tips would you give to business owners or anyone trying, I would say business owners, that are trying to get into the position that you're in currently to date?
Here's the thing. Learn every position. Learn every position. Also, you're going to need a team. Yeah. But to me, you need to learn every position so that if there's a break in anything, your whole business isn't on hold because now you can step in and do it. Yeah. I think like from podcasting, I learned everything from... You
learned edit?
Yeah.
I question whether I should learn it.
I learned how to edit audio. Very easy. Mm-hmm. All this video editing, I pray for y'all. It's a whole nother beast. Mm-hmm. But like, again, I looked up, you can get Premiere Pro. You can get the entire Adobe and just YouTube it. University, girl.
Yeah. Well, they also even at Premiere comes with the videos. They come with the
but tutorials. Then again, that's time.
Yeah.
That's sweat equity. That's in your time.
Yeah.
So you have to definitely do your own research. Literally, that would be my bit of advice. Not only to get a competent team, but you need to know every part of the business that you're a part of.
Yeah.
You just have to.
I agree with that. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm thankful to have you here. I feel like we're gonna be best. I'm saving your number.
Oh, listen, we hanging out. I'm here for like a week and a half, girl.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of Eating While Broke featuring Mandii B.
Thank you for having me.
Check out her official box and her podcast.
That's right. Make sure you guys go to officialboxowner.com. We are currently rebranding, so you can get everything right now for $10 except for the box. But you can get boric acid suppositories, apple cider vinegar gummies, and also feminine pouches, just so that you don't have to walk around with your tampons, your pads, your condoms, your lubes, those things just free-flowing. And then, you can check out my podcast, Horrible Decisions, on the Black Effect Network. We drop every Monday. And my other podcast, See the Thing Is, with my co-host, Bridget Kelly. We drop every Tuesday and Friday wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Wow, you are working.
Girl.
I'm going to be...
Do you hear this voice? Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to be on set all week. I don't know how. I'm like,
Yeah, and you just flew in, and you are really...
I flew in and came straight here.
I respect you, and I'm so thankful that you gave us the time.
Thank you so very much.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.